All right, mic check, mic check. I feel like I want to turn my mic down just a little bit more. Okay. So trigger warning. It is it's this is a interrogation video of a mom that, her kids are not here anymore. I will have commentary if you're here for straight interrogation video. The link is in the description box right now, so you can just watch that without me interrupting. I will let long segments play for the most part and just come in if I have a thought or if I see something in the chat I do want to say, stuff like that. If there's questions that I feel like I could possibly answer, things like that. But yeah, for the most part, it'll be long segments that play as we watch this. Now, the original title of the video is Killer Mother Cooked Her Own Children, Then Tried to Lie Her Way Out. Now, not literally in an oven cooked, but we'll get the context as you go. So let's go ahead and start.
This is Brittany Nicole Delgado, a young mother whose calm demeanor would soon collide with a scene investigators couldn't ignore. In December of 2019, in Tallahassee, Florida, police were called to a home in Leon County after reports that two young children were unresponsive. What officers walked into didn't look chaotic, but the conditions inside told a different story. Investigators say a space heater had been running inside a closed room, trapping heat inside. Even 45 minutes after the door was opened, the temperature in that room was still measured in the high 80s. One child survived. A 1-year-old child did not. Brittany Delgado and her boyfriend, Pedro Ramirez Alvarado, were quickly identified as the adults responsible for the children that day. Both were brought in for questioning. And what makes this case unsettling isn't rage or panic. It's how calm everything appears on the surface. No forced entry, no sudden emergency call. Just explanations that don't quite line up with the evidence. As detectives reconstructed the timeline, they relied on temperature readings, medical findings, and the layout of the room itself. The story being told in the interview room didn't match what the scene was saying. What you're about to see is the interrogation, and how silence, delays, and small decisions can carry consequences that can't be undone.
What's going on?
I'm claustrophobic. I'm trying to put my mind in something
Oh, I'm
else.
sorry. Okay. Hopefully I give you a distraction, okay? We'll just have a good conversation and hopefully I get your mind off of it, all right? I know we spoke at your house, and I just spoke with Pedro, okay? That's where I've been for the last while. And I just want to go back over what we talked about because I know when I met you, you were very upset and a lot going through your mind, stuff like that. So I just want to kind of go back over what we talked about and then just ask you some questions, okay? So.
Because I do remember a little bit more from what I told you.
Okay, all right, hold on just a second, okay, before we get into that. So, you're not under arrest at this time, okay? I don't want you to think that. But because you are up here being interviewed and, you're up here with us with the sheriff's office, my policy is I gotta read Miranda rights to you, okay, just so you know what your rights are, all right? It's just a standard procedure, okay?
My rights are, I already know.
You already know them? Okay.
I already know my Miranda rights, but I know
Great.
you have to go by.
That's great. So I'm gonna read it to you anyway.
I have family that works with law enforcement. So.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna read these to you and just make sure you understand. If you have any questions, I'll answer those for you too, okay? All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer at this time and have a lawyer present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any question or make any statement. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to talk to me about what happened today?
Yeah, but my foster parents were the ones that were kind of iffy if we needed lawyers, but I said I don't think. I said we're not being arrested, so.
You have foster parents, is that what you said? And you're how old?
I'm 27.
You ain't got no foster parents, you're an adult.
I've had them since I was young, and we still keep in contact.
Just
They
keep
live
you
in
talk.
Tennessee.
Yeah, you trust and confident. Yeah, I got you. All right.
And they're also wanting to know what's going on
Yeah.
with all the kids.
I just never met an adult that said they had a foster parent. That was kind of, that's a new one on me.
I guess I've known them for a really long
Just call
time.
them parents. I don't know.
I call them, I call them actually mom and pops, but
Okay.
if I say that, people are like, biologically parents, or and I'm like,
All right, cool. Did you know Pedro before you came here? You did. How did you know Pedro?
through friends and family.
Okay. Mutual friends with Pedro? Okay. So how long have you known Pedro?
I can't give you a record.
Best guess.
Going on 2 years,
2 years? Okay.
maybe 3. I don't know. It's been a while. He's been taking up for kids as father. And he's basically their father because they call him dad, and
Okay.
because they're my kids' biological father since day one has not been in the picture.
Okay.
They don't care. And I said if anything was to happen, or if something was like to happen to me, like say I was in a car accident or something, or my health got to the point where I died, you know, I said say, because I said I have neuropathy, say something happens where I end up dying, would you be able to take your son? They're 2 different people. I said, would you take your son to go with them? And they said, I don't want nothing to do with that kid, and blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah, I think you told me about that. But Pedro's been good for him, takes care of him. Oh, that's good.
he treats them as if they were his own kids, and he has kids in El Salvador.
Oh, he does? Okay. So,
And one in Maryland and one in, he has 2 in El Salvador, 1 in Maryland, 1 I think it's New York or California. I just can't remember which,
okay.
but I know he has a family in Houston,
Alright.
so.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some questions, okay? Last night, where were you guys at last night? You as a family, you, Pedro, and the boys, where were y'all?
We were at Mom and Pop's finishing up their house
Where's that at?
in Panama City.
Okay.
You know,
So,
insurance company and everything else.
What time did you leave Panama City?
I think it was around 11:30ish, 12 a.m.
Okay. And you left with Pedro and the 2 boys?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And Kitty,
Who was Kitty?
the kitty cat.
Kitty Cat. I got you. All right. So
Princess.
y'all drove straight here to Tallahassee?
Mm-hmm.
And what time did y'all get here?
When we came inside, the clocks said that's in the living room area said 2 something.
Okay. And when you guys got home, what did y'all do next? What did everybody do?
He went to the bathroom to go take a shower because he was filled with insulation and everything. I changed kids, made bottles, got everybody to sleep, but Julio decided to come back out to the living room and sleep on the sofa because Princess is on the sofa.
Who was
cat.
Princess the cat? Okay. Where do the boys normally sleep?
Normally Julio sleeps in his room, but since we're cleaning it, I've let him just sleep on the sofa. And when he sleeps on the sofa, I sleep on the sofa. So there's somebody out there with him. And Alex, the baby, sleeps normally with us for time being. We have a co-sleeper, and then we do other stuff as well, like that play.
So you said Alex normally sleeps with us. What does that mean? On the couch or in the bedroom? Where?
Pedro slept in the bedroom last night, so Alex slept with him.
In the same bed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you slept on the couch with Julio. Okay. All right. What time did what time did Pedro go to sleep last night?
There's so many red flags. It's so many. Why is a grown man sleeping in the bed by himself with one of your kids? Also, don't they say parents don't like, I know it kind of happens, but I'm looking and I just feel like there's also a risk of suffocating the child if you're sleeping with the child and stuff like that. Like not even anything, weird happening and stuff like that. So it just seems like a bad idea all around. She also downplayed their relationship, then she upplayed it. Because at first he said, how do you know Pedro? Instead of saying that's my boyfriend, he asks the kid's stepfather. She said, I know him through mutual friends. How long have you known him? 2, maybe 3 years. Okay, what's his relationship with the kids? Oh, he's like a father to them because their real father's not in their life. So,
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Okay, do you remember how long he was up after he took a shower?
Not that long.
Okay. So he probably went to bed probably about 3 o'clock, you think?
Maybe.
All right.
We all went to bed around the same time.
Y'all went to bed around the same time.
Everybody went.
But Julio and Pedro were in the main, like if I walk into your house,
Like
the
the back
bedroom on the
door.
right, that's where you and Pedro slept?
You mean the front where I was telling you, because where we were at, where the red car is the back. The expedition?
No, what I'm saying is,
If
the
you
sleeping
were to
arrangements in the house is what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, so if you were to
So if
come
I walk in the front door,
front door is
the
on the
room to
other
the-
side, where the Jeep is. If you were to come in the front side, the bathroom will be in front of you, that room right there, on the right.
okay, see that's where you and Pedro, that's your room, so
Uh-huh.
to speak. Okay, so Pedro and Julio were in there sleeping.
No, Alex.
Alex was sleeping there. And then you
And
and
Julio
Julio were
were-
sleeping on the couch.
Yes, Julio was on the brown sofa, the one that's by the other door, and I was on the black beside him.
Okay.
And the
Alright.
cat was literally right between us.
Okay. And you all went to bed about the same time.
Everybody went to bed at the same time.
All right. So what time did everybody get up this morning?
The kids got up earlier. Pedro was still asleep. Kids got up earlier. I moved Alex.
What time did the kids get up, you think?
It was around 7-ish. They got up earlier. I moved them all to the back room, took out the space heater, electric space heater.
All right, so just a second. Kids got up at 7 o'clock. I'm guessing you got up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Were you up first or were they up first?
Julio was up first, then Alex was up, then I was up. Well, no,
But
sorry. Julio, me, then Alex, because I had to change diapers
Okay.
and everything.
But for the most part, all three of you guys were up around 7 o'clock this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so what happened after everybody got up this morning at 7?
I changed diapers and let them play in the room that they were in with the space heater.
Okay.
But I took the space heater out and I put it in the hallway by the black sofa.
By this point, detectives weren't guessing anymore. They focused on one thing: time. How long the room stayed sealed, how long the heat stayed trapped, and how long those children were left inside without help.
What were they playing with in the bedroom? Because there wasn't much in there.
The stroller and the papers and everything. Julio likes to play school.
Okay. Why was the stroller in there?
Because they like playing with it. They like pushing it because Alex just learned how to walk. And that's what I was going to tell you. The last time I was in there 10 minutes beforehand, they were both pushing it together. Because Casper kept calling me like, Mommy, Mommy, look, Mommy, Mommy. And I'm like, what? What's going on? Baby. And I'm like,
So Julio was pushing Alex in the stroller.
no, they were both
They were
walking.
both walking it?
Yeah, and
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, because I haven't seen Alex walk with anything yet, so
Okay.
I've seen him stand up with stuff.
Have you ever put Alex in the walker stroller to sleep, when you come home at night? I mean, is it,
Casper likes to sleep in there sometimes, but then once I see that he's completely out for the count, I go ahead and move him where he needs to be at.
is the stroller normally in that bedroom?
That's like our storage bedroom, so yeah.
Okay, so you'll never leave it outside?
Yeah.
All right. So they're playing in the bedroom, and everybody gets up 7 o'clock. They're playing in the bedroom, and
And I'm checking on them.
you're checking on them. What is Pedro doing?
He's asleep, and then I ended up waking him up later on.
Do you remember what time that was?
Around 8:39, I think it was. I didn't pay attention to time, but. And what I did was I made coffee for us. Heated up some pupusas for him, made some food for me. He went back to the bathroom to use the bathroom, so I went to go check on the kids, see what they were doing. They were horsing around, laughing, and everything else
Where were they at?
in that same room.
Same room? Okay.
They wouldn't come out, and I had the door open for them to come out if they wanted to.
Okay.
They know how to. Alex crawls and comes out when he wants to. Casper, he'll run out. If it was up to Julio, he'll run out butterball naked if he wanted to. He likes running around the house butterball naked.
Okay.
So now I tell him that's a no-no. You're not supposed to do that. Because what if mommy has guests or daddy has guests? You're not supposed to run around the house butt naked.
Okay.
But
All right,
that could just
so
be like
Pedro
you
gets
said,
up at...
the boy thing. but
Okay, yeah. Pedro gets up at 9 o'clock. You make breakfast for Pedro
and everybody else.
and everybody else? Okay.
Because the food I made for me, I feed to the kids as well.
What did you make for them?
We all had off the same plate. It was chicken, what is that? Broccoli, and I put some cheese on it, green beans, and I had some bread for myself. They don't need the bread.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had oatmeal.
Okay.
And oatmeal was more for Alex because he doesn't do some things, and
All right.
Julio wanted to eat it, but then they went back to the room, and cause I let them down because they didn't look like they were full. Their stomach looked like it was about to explode at the time. So I was like, oh, they're full. They're not wanting anymore because Alex is like, telling me, that he doesn't eat no more. And I'm like, here. He's like, Casper, y'all want more food? Alex, Julio just runs to the other room again.
Okay. So after breakfast was made, what did y'all do next?
I ended up getting on the phone with the insurance company. Pedro got a call from El Salvador. So
All right. Before she describes what they did next, yes, Daisy, chicken, broccoli, green beans, and oatmeal. And she said they ate off of one plate. Oh, and bread, but she had the bread because she didn't want the kids to have bread. Two grown adults. Is it 2 kids or 3 kids? Because she keeps saying Casper. I know there was a Julio and Alex. Alex is a 1-year-old, I believe, but she keeps saying Casper too. So either 2 or 3 kids, I'm not sure yet, and 2 adults of a nice size eating off one plate. How is that sufficient? And then what do you do? Whatever food you want to do at breakfast time, whatever. But it's the one plate that kind of gave me pause more than anything.
I was by the bathroom talking, and I heard him coming in talking on the phone. His one speaker, obviously mine was on speaker. So, because I know when 2 phones are on speaker and they're by each other, there's going to be some interference. So what I did was I stepped outside in the front. And I told him briefly before I stepped outside, please go check on the kids. I checked on them 10 minutes ago. All I hear after that is, Brittany, Brittany, Brittany. So I'm coming around and I'm thinking that they're fighting with the cat, or somebody's fighting with the cat, or something's happening. So obviously something's happening. So I come in, and I was also smoking a cigarette at the time, a little short that I had. And I came in with the cigarette because I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And he's like, the kids, go see the kids, I'm on the front, I need something, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I'll go see what's going on. I'm like, can you please take this thing? Because I can't go in the room with the kids with this in my hand. He just burst it out in my hand saying, fuck that cigarette, And I'm like, can you please turn it off? Are you fucking kidding me? Can you turn it off or throw it outside, do something? Don't throw it in the fucking floor in the fucking living room. Like, the fuck? And I ran to go see the kids, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna need your help. And he came back in, he's like, because I'm looking at the kids, I'm like, Julio was on his back. Alex was like on his side a little bit, like almost side and stomach. But obviously his face was in a point where he could breathe. He ended up grabbing Julio first and over the shoulder like this. I picked up Alex, same way.
I think she's time jumping right now. Because, for us, if we go off how she's saying it, it's like, okay, 7 o'clock, y'all got up, y'all ate. She's saying as if it's still like 8 or 9. I feel like he's going to clarify. I think there was a time jump and some hours went by, but she's, skipping to when they found the kids and checking to see why they're laying down. I think we're skipping time on this one.
He was too busy. Casper, Casper, Casper. And I'm like, go do cold water. Cold water would get them out of that shock mode, and then we need to get rubbing alcohol for them to smell. We couldn't find the rubbing alcohol. So I ran to the sink in the kitchen, did Alex, nothing was, so I was like, I need to do CPR on him. I even checked here, because I couldn't hear, because I was freaking out. My asthma was acting up. I was like, I'm not going to be able to hear his breathing if he's breathing. So I obviously checked the pulse. He had a pulse. I checked up here.
Was it a strong pulse?
It was a normal, I guess, almost faint. When I did it here, but when I did it here, it was a little bit stronger. So I was like, he's alive. I just need to go do CPR somehow. But obviously, I'm not gonna hardcore a 1-year-old, So I was
What do you mean? What does that mean?
like I would do CPR on you if I needed to. The whole
Yeah.
like that type.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna have to use either this or this to.
Okay.
I know that's what needs to be done.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna. like all the way to the middle,
All right.
on the chest. So I was doing that in the room. I had him on the back after I had did the water and everything. I went to the room, laid him on our bed, and was doing that.
With chest compressions.
Yeah.
Okay.
With some little bit of air. Because I learned, and when you live in Maryland, D.C., Virginia, you learn CPR in school, in elementary school. And then the Heimlich maneuver you learned as well. Okay. So I learned this at a young age. So I know.
So you're trying to revive Alex.
Okay. And then once Pedro kept screaming my name, so I had to pick Alex up, and I was still doing, but I had him at an angle that he was at least flat, but he's not gonna fall, you know? And Pedro is a dumbass, and I'm doing the chest compressions while I'm holding him, so that way he's not gonna, what I'm doing is not gonna fuck up. Pedro is trying to do CPR on Julio, but like this. And I'm like, take him to the room and do it.
So now we're trying to put it all on Pedro. Now it's 2 adults that should have been checking on those kids. But she sliding it on over to Pedro. Pedro's the idiot. Pedro's not doing CPR right. No blame. Slide that blame along. Don't look at me.
Are you that stupid? Like.
So you stopped resuscitating Alex to go tell Pedro?
No, I was still resuscitating with Alex.
Okay. How were you doing that on the phone with 911? You had it in your bra?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I called in the room as well. When he kept screaming my name, I put the phone right here and ran with Alex in my arms, and I said, you need to figure out how to do it, and you're doing that wrong. I told him, you're doing that wrong. You need to go to the room on the bed like I was. That's when 911 told me, go outside with them, get fresh air with them. And then out of nowhere, they're like, lay them on the ground. And I'm like, it wasn't clicking to me at the moment. I was like, I was lay them on the ground because I didn't figure that, oh, maybe you guys are here yet, you know? Mm-hmm. That's probably why they told me to put the kids on the ground. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it didn't click right away until I turned around and I saw one of the sheriff cars.
Okay. So.
It didn't click right. It didn't click right.
All right.
It should. I mean, that happens.
So just make sure I understand everything. I'm just going to hit some of the highlights, okay? Then I'm going to ask some questions to clarify. So you got up around 7, everybody got up, you made breakfast, Pedro got up around maybe about 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. The boys were playing in that end room down there where the stroller was. About 9 o'clock you made breakfast for everybody after Pedro got up. And then at that point, you got on the phone with the insurance company. Pedro was on the phone with family in El Salvador. Now, Pedro, where was he on the phone the whole time?
At first he was in the living room, and then because I was in the living room and moved towards the bathroom, he stepped out the back door.
So he's in the back door on the phone.
Yeah,
and
I
was still in the house?
I was still in the house.
Where were you in the house?
I was, and at that point I came towards the kitchen, like where the stove is, mm-hmm. and I stood there, and then I went to go check on the kids, and they were fine. So
what were they doing when they checked on them?
When I checked on them, that was like 5 minutes before him, so.
What were they? What
that was like 15
doing?
minutes.
Her explanation sounded calm, almost rehearsed. But the physical evidence didn't react to words. It reacted to heat, duration, and neglect. And those measurements told a very different story.
What was doing?
They were sitting there playing still. They were acting normal.
Okay. What was the temperature in the room like?
To me, it felt a little warm, but I didn't feel like it was to the point where like they could pass out or I could pass out, anybody could pass out. I felt like it was okay.
Was the door open or closed when you went to the room to check on them?
It was wide open. They had a little toy prop in it.
Okay. Was the heater on?
When I went in there and looked to see it, the thing was off.
The dial was off?
Yeah, the dial was up towards off.
Okay.
And
was
so
it plugged in?
It was plugged in, but and I was like, I put my phone like this, and I was like, Julio, I told you to leave that alone, so I unplugged it and put it back in the hallway, where I would always put it.
Okay.
I've done this so many times today, like, from the first time to the last time I was.
So you're saying Julio messed with the heater all day today? Mm-hmm. And he continued to do what? Pick it up from where you took it?
Mm-hmm. And put it back and connect it.
So you're saying, and Julio's what?
Right. Daisy says, so after she did CPR, the kids started playing. She's jumping timelines. And then pay attention to how she downplays the heater, because the heater is why she doesn't have at least one of her kids anymore. She's saying the heater was off, and she's saying the door was wide open the whole time because she knows that the kid, at least one child, passed away because that door was closed. And they'll get into the details because they're asking questions, but they already know the answer. They just want to see what she's going to say. The door was closed and that heater was on, but she's trying to downplay it. Oh, it was towards the off button, and the door to the room was wide open.
3.5 years old.
He's about to be 4
on the 18th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you saying he has the dexterity to plug it into the outlet and take it out?
The outlet is where he was plugging it up at. It's literally both of the outlets in that room or down here.
Well, that's one thing, but I'm saying
He knows
it takes a little bit of dexterity to get a plug in there.
He knows how to do it because he had it even at a younger age. I let him use a phone, and he saw me. Kids pick up quickly nowadays. He saw me putting in, but it does take him a few tries to get it in. But he does get it in.
So you've seen him be successful with plugging the heater in.
I've seen him even plug up a charger. You could tell him, Julio, plug up my charger for me, Dad, even though you're not supposed to tell me to do that.
So you went back in the room,
and he's
they're playing, the heater's on.
I put the child.
You put a child cover on
some of a lot of places, and
did you put it on in that room?
Today, yes, and he's
before the incident?
Right, before the incident. You know what he's asking. Don't nobody care about another outlet in that house. It's about the outlet in the wall, in the room those kids were in, unsupervised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he always takes them out, and I don't know how this kid takes those plugs out. I don't know if it's him. Were
those covers on all the outlets in that bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
They were?
They're on all the outlets in the house normally. And the only time we take them off is if, say for example,
there she goes with that qualifier. Normally, he said it's a yes or no. Were they on in all the outlets in the house? She's normally trying to lie without lying, in my opinion.
Obviously.
Yeah, and then after we're done using it, we put it back on.
So what you're telling me is in that bedroom where they were found when you had the medical emergency with them. Okay, you're saying there were covers on all those outlets before the heater was plugged in.
Yeah, before the whole incident happened, I kept plugging the thing back in because when I put in the heater was I put it in last night when we came back home because the room was kind of chilly. So I took out the bottom. I took out the bottom one and put it on the floor, right by the right.
Last night.
Mm-hmm.
Because you plugged it in.
And then this morning, throughout the night and everything else, I've been taking out heater, plug, and cover.
So all day today,
I've been doing
you've
the same
been
thing.
pulling the plug out, putting the cover back on, and moving the heater out of the room. You've done it all. How many times would you say you did that today?
To me, it feels like 20.
Okay.
Just Julio's Mr. Houdini.
All right. So back to the phone calls. Pedro's on the phone outside. You're on the phone inside. You go in there and check on them. The heater's plugged in. You unplug it, pull it out, put it in the hallway. And then what happens next? And you're still on the phone call?
Yeah, I'm still on the phone call while I'm doing all this.
How long were you on the phone call altogether?
I was probably on the phone call for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes.
Do you think it could have been longer than 10 minutes, possibly?
I don't know, but while I was on the phone the whole time, I was checking on them.
Okay. Do you have you have your phone on you, right?
They took it.
Oh, they took it? Okay. I'll check and see. Maybe we can get an idea how long you're on the phone. Okay, so you're on the phone. Pedro's out back. And
while we were trying to get the kids, I told the insurance company, I need to call you back. An emergency happened, I need to call 911.
So while you're on the phone with
Why was she on the phone with the insurance company?
the insurance company, Pedro comes inside and goes in, and because you tell him to check on the kids, right? That's what you said earlier. And then that's when Pedro calls for you.
Starts freaking out.
All right, and then y'all start doing
everything else
until help.
And then I had to hang up. I was trying to hang up with the insurance people and call 911 at the same time and resuscitate, which,
all right,
that doing all that at one time, is gonna be trouble. But
that you juggled a lot right there, man. That's stressful. Yeah, that's a lot on you, man. Good for you. I'm glad you were able to do that.
I tried the best I could.
Yeah. I understand. That's a worst case scenario for any parent, you know.
And people call me a super mom.
They call you super mom. Oh, okay.
Because normally I'm.
Ah, okay. I hope I'm not running another case together, but it's crazy. She says people call her super mom, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna say that she had another CPS case before this one. Nobody's calling you that.
I'm juggling the kids and everything else, so.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you a question. When you picked up Alex, was his eyes open or closed?
Open.
Okay. Was his mouth open or closed?
It was open.
Okay. Was he on his back or was he on his front when he was on the ground?
It was like side-ish back.
On the side.
Side-ish back. It was like side-ish back. So
Okay.
I don't know how to phrase it.
Where was he laying in relation to Julio? Were they close or separate?
They were close to each other.
Okay. So were their heads at the same size of the bodies, or like both of them laying like side by side like this, or was his head down by Julio's feet?
It was like, say this is Julio's head.
Yeah.
Alex's head.
Tell you what, you want to draw me a little thing?
Yeah.
Draw me where everybody was.
And it was basically how they AMT put them as well. Yeah, that's how.
Well, yeah, just tell me what.
Say this is
where
the
everybody
room, like the.
Yeah, draw a box.
Length,
just draw a box of the bedroom.
Let's see. I'm gonna do this door. I know that's not as accurate, but okay. So this is window.
I'm concerned about the bedroom right now.
Yeah, that's the window.
Okay, this is the bedroom. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
I'm not.
That's all right.
Don't judge.
No,
Don't judge my art.
You're drawing a rectangle. I said she's trying to draw the trailer. So no.
Stop judging my art, dude. Okay, let's see. So obviously this is a door. That's the window.
Okay.
This is Julio.
Okay, put a J next to Julio when you finish drawing him. There you go. All right, where was Alexis?
He was right here. But he had one hand on Julio's head and one hand right here, like down.
Okay, where was the space heater? Right there. Okay. And
When you come in the room, it's left hand side.
okay. And where was Julio? Not Julio, but Pedro.
Let me. I'm gonna put A for Alex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Put an H in the middle of the box for heater.
And then window.
Yep. That's door. Yep.
Door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so Julio was attending to. Pedro was attending to Julio, right?
Yes, and I was attending to Alex.
Okay. All right.
So he had one hand on. Casper literally had his hands like this. Julio had his hands like this.
Mm-hmm.
Alex.
I think Casper maybe is Julio's nickname. Let me know what y'all think. I feel like it's just an interchangeable nickname for one of the children. So there's Julio, Alex, and then she calls one of them Casper, which I'm thinking is Julio. She calls Casper.
One hand on Julio's head. One just.
Okay. What was their skin color like, both of them?
Pale.
Both of them were pale? Was one?
He had foam. He did not.
So Julio had foam coming out of his mouth?
A little bit. It was like.
Was it bubbles or was it?
It's like bubble type.
Was it clear? Was it like
Little white.
like soapy?
Soapy kind of.
It was soapy. And
But he has seizures, and that's what his seizures look like. So I didn't know if he was seizing or.
so did it look like he was awake but not responsive, or was he?
He was semi-responsive, but Julio's whiter than me,
Okay.
whiter than you normally.
Okay.
And I told Pedro, I said, Julio looks kind of pale. He's like, how can you even tell Julio's pale? I'm like, take him to the bathroom. He was pale because he's like, Alex is like normally Pedro's skin color almost, dark color, but he was pale.
What were they wearing?
Both t-shirts, like
Short sleeve?
and diaper.
Okay. Tell me the condition of the skin. Tell me everything about, describe what the skin looked and felt like. You told me it was pale, but.
Felt warm, not like hot warm, but like.
Did it feel hot, like
like
a fever?
Not like a fever, like it could be like almost, but not that. Like in between, normal and almost fever.
Was it hotter than normal?
A little bit.
Okay. What did the room temperature feel like when you were in there?
A little hot. It was like a little bit. It wasn't like, oh, sauna hot. No, it was like
she's downplaying the heat as if it's not measurable to know how hot it is in there. But of course you are, because the neglect is what led to this. So of course you don't want to admit how hot that room could be. But at the beginning, if you came in later, at the beginning, the narrator said even after the door was open for 45 minutes, the room was still in the high 80s. And that's with letting the heat out. So yeah, she's downplaying how hot that room was.
If you've turned on, you know, maybe, what's it called? Like the stove while you're cooking. And you start, us big people start sweating a little bit, but it's not that hot. And we're like, oh shit, it's so hot in here. And we're the ones cooking. We're like, it's so fucking. And we're like, you're fucking stupid. It's not that hot in here. It's just warm.
It is, you stand over a pot.
Your ass is standing over a pot. So it's like.
But the heater was on, right?
It was on.
So who unplugged it?
I unplugged it before that time, but when I had plugged it up, they were playing over here by the window area.
When did you plug it up?
I plugged it up last night. I took it out.
Okay.
It was that 10 minutes before, and then
did you plug it in anytime today? Did you plug the heater in anytime today? Okay. All right.
And when I had took it out several times before, it was over here. When you come in the right hand side of the door.
Is that because you put it there, or because what?
Julio.
Julio?
And I guess because this time when I put in over here, I put in the things. I guess he got mad because I was literally just, all I had to do was come in the door halfway and.
Okay.
And he actually wanted me to come in and actually watch them play because he's Mr. Negative Attention Seeker. So he'll repeat shit until you actually do something about it.
Okay. Just get your attention. All right.
Like he'll literally smack you if he wanted to, and say, you know what, that was your fault. And if you're sitting in, you've been inside the house, right? The black sofa, the left hand side, when you're looking at it.
I don't remember if he's gonna get notified later that one of the kids didn't make it, or he came in knowing one of the kids didn't make it. But I know either way, they weren't gonna tell her until she talked all this, because of course she was gonna clam up if, well, most of them would clam up once they know the child didn't make it. So I think they withheld it on purpose to get her to talk, because she's thinking I might get in a little bit of CPS trouble, but it's not gonna be too crazy. Not knowing one of your kids, they're gone.
You sit there, he's gonna see you.
Mine. That's his spot. Okay.
So he thinks he's in control of everything.
Gotcha.
So that's
All
Julio. Mr. Julio is Mr. Bossy.
Okay.
Alex is normally Mr. Tranquil. He's really calm. He's the quiet one. But Pedro's told me that's gonna be trouble in the future because he's quiet. Quiet ones are always more the problem ones later on. And I said, nope, that's this one right here.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. During the day, because I think we got out there around 1:30, something like that, maybe 2 o'clock, thereabouts. Do you ever let the boys play by themselves for a while without watching them? Like, do they ever go play in the room and you just kind of like clean up or whatever while they're in the room?
I clean up while they're in the room, and then if I'm cleaning another room, I have to go check on them.
He's asking the question he already knows the answer to.
Yeah. Would you say you're the primary caretaker of these boys, or is it Pedro?
It's an equal.
It's an equal thing? Okay. Do y'all ever tag team it? Do y'all have like some sort of system set up when you watch the boys? Or?
Yeah, we sometimes there's a point where he does more Julio and I do more Alex sometimes, and sometimes we switch it. Like sometimes we even have this game in Pedro. Who can change the diaper the fastest?
Okay.
We try to make it funny for the kids, you know.
Who changes the diapers?
We both do.
You both do?
But in the morning I normally do it, and before Pedro started his new job where he's working on his own time, I would take care of the majority of the day.
Because Pedro's working, right? So you're taking care of him most of the day.
But now that he started working on his own time and not having a boss, I've been going with him, and the only job we've had recently was Mom and Pop's.
Okay.
So Mom and Pop's were watching kiddos and Anna, which is sister.
Gotcha. So just to clarify, you think you're on the phone how long with the insurance company?
Probably 10.
before he came in?
Maybe a minimum 5 minutes, maybe minimum 15, max 15. It could
How
be
long would you say Pedro was on the phone? Because
probably 10 minutes. He was on the phone for a shorter period of time than me.
right.
Probably maybe like 2 or 3 minutes difference.
Okay. All right.
Minus that I left them on the phone while we're dealing with.
So you would estimate that the boys probably didn't have anybody watching them for a short period of time, maybe
Like maybe
five
5
minutes
minutes.
or so. Okay. All right.
And next time, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna, what I'll do is, if we're in the living room, I'm locking those bedrooms doors and I'm letting them both play out in the living room.
Speaking of that, got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
All the door handles in the house are reversed. The locks are on the
Oh
outside.
no, the only ones that are like that is bedroom 1 and 2 in the back. Because of the fact of Mr. Julio being in Houdini.
So what does that mean?
He will lock doors.
Okay. So you've reverse locked them so he can't lock them?
Lock himself or anybody or anything. Like if I say a key to a bedroom.
No, what I'm saying is the mechanism
handle.
to lock is on the outside, meaning
Yeah.
that you could lock it and the person on the inside could never get out because you had the doors locked.
No, but that's not why we did that. It was because of Julio. Say for example, that's your only pen.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, "Can I draw?" And he'll show you that he's drawing for a little bit in the living room. Then he'll take your pen or your phone. You loan your phone to him. Take it to the other room. One of those.
Detective want to focus on their lock. So let's say they had breakfast around 9. She said they woke up around 7, maybe had breakfast between 7 and 9, depending on when Pedro woke up. And then the cops or the emergency people came out, he said around 1 or 2 p.m. I'm thinking those kids were locked in that room from around 9 a.m. until she was calling the ambulance or emergency services, so close to 1 p.m. So she left those kids in that room for hours cooking with that heater on that she said she didn't have on, that Julio wanted to turn on. And then Julio, if he can open doors, couldn't even save his own life because the locks are on the outside of the door, so he can't even get out. She has him locked in that room. And the detective's going to talk about the items in that room too. So it's not even like a normal kid's room either. She already said she uses it for storage too. So that already tells you something right there.
Rooms, lock that door, and shut your phone, your pen, your keys, whatever in that room, and we won't be able to get in that room.
So that's why you reversed the locks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, during the time when you supervised the kids, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but is there a period of time, like if you're doing something very important, that you would lock them in the room
Hell no.
so they couldn't get out, so you can deal with a phone call or clean up a mess or just like a minute or two? Would you ever do something like that?
No. Okay. I love my kids too much. I'm not gonna. That's right there is called neglect and abuse, and I don't believe in that.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with it. I agree with that.
I love my kids too much. This right now, it hurts me. I still have the image in my head how they looked and everything.
Yeah.
I'm worried about what's going on. I want to know what's going on with my kids. I want my kids.
Yeah. Yeah, they were transported by the ambulance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my family's asking me why I couldn't go with them, and I said, well, they said since they were still working on Alex, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just we're doing our due diligence, man. We want to make sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to do, and we want to make sure we first just understand what the frick happened. How do we get to point A where the boys are playing and they're fine, all of a sudden they're overheated, right? And then they're being transported to the hospital, non-responsive. And we're trying to figure out how we got to point A to point B.
And I want to know how that happened too. And I really
well, I mean, only you and Pedro would know.
Yeah, and the only thing
I'm
thinking,
thinking, of course, but they can't talk.
Yeah,
so.
and the only thing I'm thinking is Julio kept messing with the heater. That's all I'm thinking. And I kept taking it out. I mean, I'm trying to keep it out, and he kept.
Do you think?
So she couldn't keep her child, who she has a one-way lock on the outside of the door. She couldn't keep her child away from the heater by just, if it happened the first time, you could have just taken the heater out of the room. She did not come back multiple times and move that heater. That heater, I don't think they do a lot of anything. I don't think that they check on the kids a lot, period. I don't think that they're feeding the kids properly. I don't think they're changing diapers like they're supposed to. I feel like I don't know why, but they do keep bringing up the diapers. So I feel like they probably had a very soiled diaper, at least the youngest one, the 1-year-old, because the diapers keep coming up a lot too. I don't think she does anything. And so I think that she turned the heater on. She meant for it to be on, and she had those kids locked in their room because she didn't want to supervise them. The lock was supposed to be the supervisor or, the babysitter. That's what I think. So she and Pedro could do whatever, roam the house, whatever they're doing, but not watching the kids.
I think it's possible that you were on the phone longer than you think. And those boys had that door closed while that heater's on full blast.
No, the door
You don't
was
think that's
open.
possible?
The door was open. Because even when I saw it, it was open. Everything was open.
If we're going by the timeline that you gave me for how long that, the intervals that the boys were checked on, I can't see how, if the boys were in that room 5 minutes, that they could overheat that fast. So it tells me that they had to have been in that room longer than maybe you probably perceived. Because is it possible? I mean, because I've been on the phone before. Listen, I've been on the phone before talking to people, and you lose track of time very quick.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if I may have you're right, I may have their timing wrong, but I mean, I know I checked on them between calls as well. I was literally like, you're the room, I'm in the kitchen. I would literally, what are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I would go and check.
Well, so let me ask you a question. If you're playing
Girl, sit down. She was not doing that.
back in, ping pong, let's say, with the heater with Julio, all day long, he's plugging it in, and you're having to go behind him and take it back. Why not put that thing out of the house or put it up somewhere?
Higher, and
Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, I'm like, I ain't doing this 20 times during the day like you say you think you might have done.
I told Pedro, I was like, before all.
I'm so sorry. I hate when people play dumb, do dumb things, and then try to finish the good question that someone's asking them as if they were like, oh yeah, I definitely thought about that. Don't try to finish this question about why did you take that heater out. She was that irks me because it's like, you should have done this. Now you're trying to interrupt his question as if, oh yeah, that totally crossed my mind too. No, it didn't. You're lazy and neglectful.
All this ever happened, I told him, if Julio touches that fucking heater one more time, I'm throwing it out the fucking door. I'm gonna literally throw it. He's like, then that means you're gonna break it. And I said, well then I'll put it on top of the TV stand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of fucking plugging it up and everything. Get it unplugged and everything and turning it off and unplugging it and turning it off and unplugging it and plugging in the other shit. Like,
let me ask you a question. Have you ever had an issue with, I'm not gonna say like an issue like ongoing, but ever had any incidences where either of the boys got out of the house without you knowing it and walked down the street? Has that ever happened while you've been here?
That happened like twice, I think.
Happened twice? How did that happen?
Y'all know how many body cams we watch where the kids are found wandering, heavy diapers, no clothes, and they, the parents are just like, oh, I didn't even know they weren't in the house anymore. So 2 times that it's recorded it happened, which means it could have been more. And then also, again, the behavior pattern of someone that will put a lock on the outside of the room so they don't have to check on the child. You are not going to remove a heater plug every 20 times a day. You're not doing that. You already want the lock so he doesn't go take a pen or whatever. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I know the detective obviously isn't buying it, but it's frustrating for her to actually carry on this story.
I was in the bathroom those 2 times. I was just in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before we fixed the back door lock on the top. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't notice it. No.
On the basically at.
I know what you're saying. It's like a lock for the top, right?
Yeah,
so the boys can't reach it.
It's like here.
Yeah.
And it flips, and you turn the little middle piece right here it's on this door.
Mm-hmm.
You turn it like people say it's like they have it at the hotels.
Yeah. Okay.
And it
like a latch. It folds over a clasp or something like that.
And then it turns the thing. And,
Gotcha. Okay.
But it hasn't happened since then. So.
When was the last time that happened?
It was before that. We put that lock, which was probably about maybe, I think, a month and a half ago, I think. I can't remember. It was maybe a month and a half ago.
Let me ask you a question about CPS. Have you ever had any investigations against you with CPS in other states?
To be honest, yeah, but that wasn't he said, she said, because I didn't have a steady residence.
So what do you mean, you were homeless?
I was living with friends, and there was a he said, she said that I moved around too much, and I moved around maybe once a year at the most. But yeah, I moved around like to visit states every now and then, like between the year. I would say, so I would go to Ohio for like 3 months. So I'll come here for like 2, you know,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Right.
So people say I didn't have a steady residence because of that. But people got mad when I was renting and said, well, you've been here for a year and you're barely here and blah, 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 blah. You bounce states to go see family. I need to rent my ring to somebody else.
Okay. So you're saying, just to sum it all up, you're saying that everything's been unfounded anytime somebody's made a complaint on you? Okay. All right.
Because
it's everybody else's fault but hers, basically. My joy, my peace. Thank you for being a member for 14 months. I am not reading your comment out loud, but I do thank you for being around that long. I definitely appreciate you.
But the problem is they wanted me to do a whole bunch of parenting classes and all that. And I was working. My job wouldn't let me do everything that CPS was asking me.
Okay.
So I ended up signing my rights over, so my rights did not get what's it called? What is that word they used? You probably know which word I'm talking about. The one where it's a voluntary signing my rights over, not involuntary.
In regards to what? Your children? Like giving up custody of them? Oh, okay. So you gave up custody of your kids?
Because I couldn't go to all their classes. The judge said,
oh, okay.
And my judge and my lawyer said, you have 2 options.
Okay.
Well, 3 options. You can quit your job and say, you know what? I need to do this, this, and this with the kids, which I tried doing, and my job basically threatened to press charges on me.
What state was this in?
Virginia.
Virginia? Okay.
And then my second option was sign my rights over voluntarily, or get my rights involuntarily taken from me.
Oh, I see.
Termination. There we go.
Termination of rights. Oh, okay. All right.
That's what I was looking
Okay.
for.
All right. Cool.
And I signed. It was 3 other children. I signed my rights over.
Okay. All right. Just hang tight for a second, okay? You got water?
Can I step out to use the bathroom or anything, please?
Yeah. Give me just a second. Get somebody to escort you over to the restroom, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Could I also get your business card when we leave?
You sure can. Yeah. No problem at all. I'll get that back to you in just a minute.
And do you know anything about kids?
I'm waiting to hear some more information on them. I know that they're, it's a serious condition, so.
Oatmeal and everything else.
Well, no, you said you cooked that at
9, but
9.
They didn't finish theirs, and they still didn't finish it. They were still nibbling.
So the plate food was out all day, is what you're saying?
But I kept heating it up, and then I was gonna.
You're not reheating oatmeal. Stop it. Now, you saw they did a time jump because he left out, so I'm sure maybe after she used the restroom, he took the phone calls or whatever he did. So it skipped time a little bit. So I guess what they didn't capture is him asking the question of maybe when did they eat lunch or something else about this oatmeal. But you're not reheating no oatmeal. I mean, most people aren't. I wouldn't put it past her.
Did it?
9, but
9.
They didn't finish theirs, and they still didn't finish it. They were still nibbling.
So the plate food was out all day, is what you're saying?
But I kept heating it up, and then I was gonna put that back in the microwave, and
So chicken, broccoli. What else? Corn tortilla?
Didn't have tortillas.
No? Okay. All right.
It was like maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before, I guess.
Okay. So, when we went in, we took a lot of photographs of the inside of the home. It's pretty standard procedure that we do that. So, in the room where the boys were found, prior to we showing up, there was not any outlet covers on the outlets. So why would that be the case when you told me that there was, and you confidently told me that there was?
Yeah, there was outlet because I was putting them in there. Unless...
There's not. They went back and reviewed the photographs. There's not.
I don't know where the outlets are now because the last time I checked on them, outlets were in place. So I don't know where the outlets are now.
I mean, you've been in and out of that room all day. You should know where the outlets are. And you would notice if they weren't on the walls, right?
The beginning of poking the holes in her horrible, horrible lies.
It probably slipped my mind to look at the outlets again when Pedro came in with me and to get the kids out. it slipped my mind to look, but
Come on now, Supermom, don't let stuff like that slip their mind. You said you were Supermom,
yeah,
right?
but with all this stuff that was happening,
Okay.
we're trying to arrive kids and get kids out of a warm room.
Well, how warm was the room?
It was warm, like you could.
Was it uncomfortable?
It was comfortable, like I would.
It was comfortable?
And that type of room, I would sleep in that room.
You would?
Yeah, I would sleep in there.
So there's a window unit blowing in the living room, and that's around 75, 76 degrees. Okay, that temperature's set on in there. Okay, it was really cool in the living room where the couches are, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we were in that room, we have a digital laser temperature reader, and a lot of people that install heating and air systems, they do that to put the laser on the air, and it tells you that a very, very specific, very, very accurate temperature of the air. Okay. While we were in that room, the average temperature in that room was 90 degrees. Now you're telling me the room was not uncomfortable.
It was not uncomfortable when I went in there the last time. Like the very last time, it was not.
But we got on scene pretty quick though. And according to you, you just checked the room maybe 15 minutes prior to us showing up, right?
But the thing is, I didn't feel like it was that uncomfortable. And then Pedro said he was about to go in there to double check because I said, I cannot keep going in there and fighting with Casper.
Okay.
So he said he was going to go see what Casper was doing. And if he had brought the DM heater back in, and if he did, he would take it out and put it up.
Okay. So we did multiple readings in that room, and the coolest temperature was about 80 degrees. But the other two were 89.4, 86.3.
Because Pedro's the one that went to go check on them.
89.2, 88.8, 89.4.
Pedro went in before me to go check on them on that one before we had to call you guys.
Mm-hmm.
She just said she checked on them last before they came. She said right before y'all came, I checked on them and the room didn't feel that bad. Now she's saying Pedro checked before they came.
And that's when he checked, but I was on the phone still with insurance.
Okay.
And I was about to start washing some of the dishes as well. And then he came out talking on the phone, and then I walked towards the bathroom area, towards the front door, like had the front door basically like cracked. And he was screaming my name, so I came in. When I came in to see why he was screaming, saying Brittany, he didn't. All he said was Brittany. He didn't say anything else.
Okay. Well, listen to me for a second here.
And
so,
when I came in, that door was open.
All right. When we got on scene, that door was open and closed probably 3 or 4 times of people walking in, just getting an idea of the layout of the room. Okay. Mm-hmm. Those temperatures were at 90 degrees with that door mostly open the whole time. So I know that door was closed because those temperatures were very, very warm. Okay. It wasn't open.
Because I told Pedro I had also at one point turned on that fan in that room, but Julio doesn't like the fan. He turns it off.
Okay.
And
so who's primary custody of those kids?
Y'all, wait till she answers this question. She trying to put it on Pedro because the answer to this question is I am, because I'm their biological mother. She about to try to put this on Pedro when this detective says who's the primary responsibility to watch those kids. This is an easy answer, but she knows what she's been doing, so she gonna try to put this. I don't know how she thinks it's gonna work on Pedro. Now both of them, I believe, are gonna be in trouble because it's 2 adults that should have been, responsible for the kids in that way. Just a reasonable adult would know, okay, this room's super hot. They should not be in here. So, for that reason, I think Pedro got in trouble as well. But those are your kids.
Primary responsibility to watch those kids. Who is
me?
It? You. Okay.
But Pedro does steps up more.
But majority of the time they're under your care and custody, mm-hmm. and you're checking on their welfare and you're making sure they have everything.
Legally, I am.
I'm not talking about legally is one thing, but who's actually and actively responsible for them?
It's equal.
It's equal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just a second ago, you said it was you.
Yeah, but I thought you meant legally. Legally,
I know it's you.
Yeah. But not legally,
All right.
we both step up to the plate and take even.
So I want to tell you something. They took temperatures of the boys' core temperature rectally at the hospital. Mm-hmm. Okay? Julio's was 108 degrees.
108 degrees of don't you have a fever just at like 100, 101? That little boy's temperature was 108 degrees, and that's when they had him out of the environment. There's nothing else to talk about.
So they overheated.
108 degrees. Now, this is after being put in a cool ambulance and about a 35-minute ride and probably a 68-degree temperature ambulance, and get to the hospital. So that tells me that the core temperature was higher than 108 degrees before they got into that ambulance, before they arrived to the hospital. Alex was 107. Core temperature now. That means their temperature had to come down a little bit once they got out of the house. Now you see what I'm saying? So something's not adding up here. Here's the thing. The doctors are in there working on your boys. And they're in critical condition.
I know.
All right? And we need as much accurate information as we can. Listen to me. So we can give the doctors information that they need to treat them, okay? So I need you to be a little more forthcoming than what you've been telling me, because I'm laying some facts out here to you that you can't be disputed, okay? So I need you to be honest with me. If they were in that room with that door closed, that heater running longer than what you told me, and if you made a mistake and didn't remember correctly, I need you to be truthful and tell me now.
They probably, the last time when I checked them, or between the one before the last and the last, I don't know if they shut the door. They could have shut the door.
Brittany, that couldn't have happened. You couldn't have. Both of you guys could not have been there in 5 minute, 10 minute increments. Listen to me. And their temperature gotten that high. If you guys are in there and you're saying the room's comfortable, or it's just a slightly warm, that means that door was closed. They were in there for an extended period of time with that heater running. Do you know the max temperature of that heater when it's turned on? Do you know the max temperature?
I never put it on that.
Listen to me. When I saw the heater myself, there's a dial that goes all the way around, okay? Mm-hmm. The dial was one down from the highest setting.
I never put it on.
That's what the setting was on. You and Pedro said you pulled the cord out of the wall, right, for the heater?
I did it the last time when Casper did it, but
listen to me.
Before that,
the setting was on. Listen to me. This is crucial now. So we check the temperature of that heater when it's on its high setting like that. 150 degrees. Do you hear me?
Yes.
150 goddamn degrees.
Okay.
It's blowing in that room with that door closed with those boys in there. Now, did you
get in her behind? I'm telling you, and it's still not clicking. She don't get it. She don't care. Get her.
Lock them in that room?
I did not lock my kids in the room.
I'm asking. You're
yelling at me. None of us do that.
Listen, these boys are in critical condition, okay?
Pedro did not do it. Pedro did not lock them. I'm worried about my kids.
How long did you leave them unattended in the room? I probably
left them for maybe 10, 20. I don't know. Maybe I probably left track of time.
I've got to know. These babies are in critical condition up there.
I'm worried about my kids too.
I'm worried about them.
You don't think I'm worried about my kids?
I'm sure you are, but I need you to do a better job remembering what the hell happened. Because the facts aren't adding up to what you're telling me, Brittany. I'm not mad at you. I want the truth, baby. That's all I need.
I'm giving you the truth. I've told you all I remember.
You got to give me something else.
She's not telling what she remembers. She's trying to downplay her real actions. First of all, checking every 5 minutes in the back room, you're not doing that. You're not. It's easier just to have your kids up front with you so you can just peek around the corner and make sure they're good. You were not checking on your kids. My Joy, My Peace, thank you for the super chat. She says she knows she will not sleep in that room. She is hot in the room she's in right now. I'm looking for the chair she's sitting in. Horrible liar. I believe she runs hot as well, My Joy, My Peace. And there's no way. And I feel like she sat those kids in that room. Maybe they got to have breakfast, and then those kids were locked in that room up until somebody finally checked on them hours later and saw that they were unresponsive and probably most likely unconscious. Because that means if he was at 108 degrees, like he said, once they got him to the hospital, it could have been easily like, 110, 111, 112. Like, I just don't even, she doesn't care. She cares about her freedom right now, that she knows, it's more serious than I'm thinking. I might be going to prison, but I don't think she cares about those kids.
When the deputy showed up on scene, that came out to the yard when you were there, you and Paige were outside with the boys. When they took the boys in their arms to give them aid, to resuscitate them, CPR, AED, they said the skin was scorching hot.
He was not hot.
How can that not be, Brittany? Why would a deputy tell me that it was?
I didn't feel the skin as hot.
How does a deputy feel that with all of his gear on? How can he feel that? Why would he tell me that? He has no reason to tell me something that's not true. Help me figure out why I have a set of facts right here, and then I have what you're telling me.
The only thing I felt of warmness was like if the kids had a slight fever, like if they just had an injection. That's all I felt.
Just lying. Thank you for the super chat. Royal says the only emotion she has shown this whole time, knowing what she has done right. Because also, if you were here in the beginning, when he was like, okay, just sketch out the room for me. And she was like, don't laugh at my drawings. Now, her kids have already been taken in an ambulance. There's nothing funny from the time your kids, you call 911 till you know your kids are okay at least. But she's over here giggling, kikiing, thinking, again, I really feel like she thought at most she might have to deal with CPS again. And she could just keep being neglectful and not understanding that she was doing something that was deathly to her kids. Like, she crying for the freedom right now.
Tell me why those kids were hot. Tell me why they're burning up. Is there any reason why they could have been burning up? Anything?
What are you saying, that I burned my kids or something?
No, I never said that. I'm not saying that either.
That I purposely put a heater in there to kill them? No.
Give me another explanation of why their bodies would be so burning up hot. Is there something else going on? Obviously there's no burn marks on the babies. I never said that. I'm not saying that you did that. Tell me why their bodies were burning up hot.
Maybe because of Julio putting on the heater a little bit too hot, way too hot than it should. Because when I put it on the heater, this is the heater knob. The very first one is up here. I put it like not even the halfway, that line that's halfway.
The setting.
Now earlier she said every time she would see that heater plugged in, she would take it out the plug and put the little outlet protector on there. Now she's saying when I did the heater, it was on the lowest setting. I thought you said 20 times you came to unplug the heater. Why do you need it on the setting if you were unplugging it from the wall? Which also doesn't make sense, because if she was actually doing it, she would have just removed the heater from the room.
All the way around.
Okay.
When I got there.
Okay. When I put on that heater, I only put it up a little bit. I don't even put it all the way over. I only put it up a little bit. And that last night I put it on, it was like right here. The little piece right here. It was literally like this.
I see.
And I don't close my kids into rooms or nothing. And the kids slept with me last night. One slept with me and one slept with him. I'm not going to sit there and abuse my kids.
I'm not saying you did.
I'm not.
But what
you're saying that if Pedro or me locked the kids in the room or something.
Do you think they were in there longer than you said they were?
I said they may have been because I was on the phone with the insurance company. Maybe you're right. Maybe I mistracked time. Maybe they're probably in there maybe a 5 minute, 10 minute more than probably what I'm thinking. Maybe my mind didn't click to the timing.
Oh no, Supermoms would have had a baby monitor. They also wouldn't have locked their kids in a one-way room in case there was a danger. Also, there maybe would have been a timer set to check on your kids. This was your babysitter. That room was the babysitter.
You as a parent know that when you're doing stuff, sometimes you as a parent know this. So yeah, sometimes there's timings that you don't actually look at a damn clock.
Brittany, answer me something. Is it possible? And I'm on your side, darling. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm on your side, okay? But is it possible that those kids were aggravating the hell out of you while you're on the phone? Because they've done it to me before at my house. And you said, all right, I'm going to leave them in there, they're playing, have a good time. Let me take this phone call, I'm going right back in there and check on them. Did that happen? Just
No,
please tell me.
I don't do that. I left the door open.
Did you do that today?
No. I left the door open.
Did Pedro do it today?
No. I left the door open. When I did go in there a couple times, the door was cracked. And I told Julio, you know better. The door needs to be open so Mommy can hear you guys better. He said, okay, Mommy. That's what he told me. Okay, Mommy.
Brittany, something's not adding up, baby.
But earlier she said she locked the doors because Julio was still in pins. That was her example. So you're not letting Julio run free. You put the locks on the outside of the door because you said he would, run around. So no, it's not about, she did not have that door cracked. Also, good point, Jacqueline. She's dressed for hot weather. I don't know what season this is, but somebody else had put, it might have been you again, but put that she had the window unit at 70, 75. And usually that's the AC unit if it's a window unit for me. That's what I'm thinking. So why was the heater even on? Also, let's just say this is winter and she got hot in this room. There's no jacket on the back of her chair. So I'm like, yeah, why do you even need this heat? Because she's dressed in shorts, a camisole type top, and there's no jacket behind her. So it's not about the temperature in this room. That tells me outside is not that bad. That's what that's telling me, which means it's not going to be that cold outside to justify why that heater was even on like that.
Those babies have 108 and 7 internal core temperature at the hospital.
Can I finish? After he said, okay, Mommy, maybe I didn't notice when I was in the living room, like towards the hallway area, that door was maybe cracked or closed. And when Pedro went to go see them, after he called me, the door was open. It wasn't cracked, it wasn't closed, it was open when he told me to come in where he was at seeing the kids. He told me to come in. So the door was open. How he found the door, I don't know. If it was closed, cracked, how it was.
Was Pedro supposed to be watching the kids while you were on the phone?
Yes.
Is it possible that Pedro locked the door or closed the door on the boys?
He won't do that.
He won't do that.
Mm-mm.
So did you close the door while you're on the phone to keep them from driving y'all crazy on the phone?
No, if I was on the phone, I would put them on the sofa, and then they were driving me crazy, put Julio on the sofa and let Alex walk around in the living room or crawl around the living room and put cartoons on. If it came to the point where I needed to make an appointment phone call, and they have a tablet and I have another iPhone 7 that I will give them as well. If they're bothering me too much, I will sit them on a spot where I can see them if they're on the sofa together and I need them quiet. I will set the volume down on the tablet phone and give it to them. But I'm not going to sit there and lock my kid in a damn room.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Changing gears here a little bit. Have you had any contact with the Department of Children and Families, what you call CPS, while you've been in Tallahassee?
Once.
And when was that?
It was probably 3 weeks, maybe a month ago.
And what was it for?
Because the incident of Julio running when I was in the bathroom outside the house before we changed the lock thing.
Okay. Did you have any direct contact with anybody at DCF regarding that incident?
No.
Why not?
Because I was at a doctor's appointment.
Okay. Did Pedro have contact with anybody at DCF about that incident? He did. Okay. What did Pedro share with you about that information?
That they said that that everything was okay at the time, and they will contact him or me in the near future.
Did they give Pedro any instructions to give to you?
He didn't. If they did, he didn't tell me. He said they didn't really say much.
Okay. Why would the DCF investigator tell me that she felt that you were avoiding her when she kept trying to get in contact with you?
I was at appointments. I have appointments.
Did you get voicemails on your phone from her?
No.
Any business card on the door at the home?
Mm-mm.
No contact at all?
Mm-mm. No business card, not even in the mailbox, nowhere. Because if I saw a business card, I would have called.
Okay. What's Pedro going to say when I go ask him about that question with DCF? Is he going to tell me that he told you what DCF told him?
He said something about, I don't know if it was DCF or he said he was going to do it. I wasn't paying attention to a lot of it because I was on medication. He said something about him putting maybe Julio in daycare and Alex.
So they were trying to help you get daycare for the kids, and she's too lazy to answer the phone or return phone calls. And I don't think she really said they worked that much. I think they might have worked for a little stint, but I don't even think that she works. I think she's just home all day. So she just can't be bothered with anything.
So was there a set of recommendations that DCF gave him to give to you in regards to care for the kids?
I didn't see any paper.
Did Pedro mention that there was any recommendations or strong recommendations given by DCF for the both of you in care for these kids?
I didn't hear any.
You didn't hear anything?
All he told me was something about daycare, and I was on medication. I just had a DNC that day, and I had 3 interviews that day for a job.
Okay. Well, I'm going to step out here for a minute. I'm going to go talk to Pedro, okay? And I want you to think seriously about our conversation, about the facts that I presented to you, the core temperatures of those babies, the temperature of that heater, the temperature of that room when I got on scene well after those boys had been transported and that door had been open. And it was still hot in that room.
So you're accusing me of...
No, you need to think about, seriously, go back in your mind. And
okay, if you're going to be accusing me, I need to call a lawyer.
I'm not accusing you. I'm saying, help me find out why I have a set of facts saying this and you're telling me something different. That's all I'm saying. You need to figure out.
Because you're saying you keep asking me over and over again, have I locked my kids in a room or Pedro? And I keep telling you no. So if you're going to keep asking me these questions, and I'm going to also respond for Pedro, we need lawyers.
Okay. All right. Hey, on that thought, I
need my phone so I can call my lawyer.
You stand by right there.
All right. Yeah, she's about to get delivered the news that one of her kids didn't make it.
Not going to accuse me of abusing my children. That is fucking ridiculous. I need my phone so I can call my lawyer. So now I'm being refused a lawyer. What a cute fucking state. Not gonna fucking sit there and accuse me of shit. I need my phone to call my lawyer.
We're not talking anymore.
I need my phone to call my lawyer now.
You can do it when you get up to the jail, okay?
I'm not going to jail because I need to call my lawyer.
Bye-bye.
I need my phone. I need to call my lawyer.
You're not getting your phone, okay?
Can I make a phone call? I have a free phone call and I'm not going to jail. Why am I going to jail?
Hold on, I'll be right back with you, okay?
No, why am I going to jail?
I'll be right back with you.
All I told you guys was the truth. I need to make a...
All right, before they do it, because... Okay, Teresa, thank you so much for your super sticker. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Yeah, she cutting up. She cutting up, and he about to drop the hammer right now.
You calm down a little bit?
More you guys arresting me, I didn't do anything.
Are you calm down a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, you can lower your voice a little bit. Okay? You calm?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Sergeant Bear. I saw you out there on scene. Okay. Try to keep you calm down because you're yelling. You gotta keep calm.
Your officer was saying that
Okay. Listen to me.
That's where I asked for a lawyer because he kept accusing me of locking my kids in a room. I did not do that.
Okay.
He said, well, I need another answer.
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
I'm telling you guys all I remember.
Okay, well.
And you're telling me I'm being arrested and I'm going to jail.
Well, here's the deal. Okay? And we'll get into it more once we get everything put together. But right now, are you worried about your kids?
Yes, I'm worried. I want to know what's going on.
Okay. What's your little 1-year-old's name?
Alex. Alex. Jonathan Alexius.
Okay. She did not make it.
Easy.
Okay. Yours.
I would have left her ass on that floor too. Don't hold on to me. Don't hold on to me. I would have did exactly what he did. I'm moving out the way. Do not grab me. No. You do your theatrics by yourself.
Your oldest son is still is still alive, but he's on life support.
No!
No, you can't see them right now. You need some help back up on your chair. You're not seeing them right now.
When can I see my kid, please?
That I can't give you. We're still, everything's still investigated.
Help me, please.
Have a seat in the chair. Have a seat in the chair. Alright. Right now, like I said, we're investigating. These questions are being asked.
Can I talk to you instead of your officer, please? I don't like how he was talking to me.
Okay. Here's the thing. You've asked for a lawyer. We can't just.
I want to.
Okay.
Stop.
That's why we were asking the questions. We have to
But
find
he
out
was
these
asking me repeatedly where I lock my kids in a room, and I do not do that.
questions. Okay. Well,
But there may. Can I tell you, please? Can I talk to you, please? Or can you tell him to come in and you stay in the room, please?
all right. Are you saying you're wanting to talk to us without a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I know my rights and I know what I'm doing. It's fine.
Okay. Like I said, because we can't ask them now. If you want us, okay. Let me go get a pad and pen. Okay. If you need some more water, you get water.
Can I make a phone call to my mom?
I can't let you use your phone right now. Because like I said, we don't.
Are you guys arresting me?
We're investigating. We're trying to get everything put together. Okay. Once we get everything put together, we'll make a decision from there. Okay. But like I said, if you're wanting to continue to talk, we'll continue talking.
I will talk, but I want somebody. If it's talking to you or if he said he has to be in here, but if you're in here, because. You've been trying to be nice to me, but
like I said,
you said about
these questions have to they are tough questions. These are questions that get asked of us.
But majority of this stuff he kept asking.
Well,
I'll let you get a pad.
Okay, yeah, we'll let you get a pad and pen. And,
can I
I can't let you use the phone right now.
No. Did anybody say anything about my medication?
No.
Now she's trying to play. I mean, it's not gonna work, but she's trying to play them against each other. Oh, you're nicer, whatever. He's gonna call you out on your stuff too. It's questions they have to ask. Thank you. That's Josie. I definitely understand. I try to make sure y'all never get surprised with these topics. I totally understand, but thank you for your super chat. She said these cases do something to my spirit, so I won't stay. Just stop by to show love. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Medication.
No, we left all that. We didn't want to collect it. Yeah, we didn't want to collect it. So it's still at your house, okay? Let me go get a pad and pen and we'll be back in, okay? If you
Oh my.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you need this, you need this. Alright, I'll be right back, okay? I won't be gone long.
So my youngest didn't make it.
No, ma'am. No. And your oldest is on life support right now.
So he's doing okay for it now? Or?
He's on life support. Basically, the life support is breathing for him right now.
But for right now, is it working okay?
All we're being told is that the next 24, 48 hours will say something.
And
Okay.
am I allowed to make a decision with my child?
We'll get back.
To that.
Right now, they're trying to
Get
save.
everything else. I
They're,
know.
they're trying to save him, and that's
What
the
about
focus
the? I'm talking about the other one,
of- Okay.
the youngest.
Youngest. What do you mean? Make a decision.
Cremation, burial.
That'll.
Girl, you about to be a ward of the state. What is going on right now? No, there's gonna be a competent adult, in my opinion, that's gonna do all that. But right now, we gotta still deal with how did this happen. She's skipping steps again.
Gotta come later. It's a medical examiner's case, so a medical examiner has to look at her and come up with a cause of death. Okay. It's a long process. You got ways off before you have to worry about the funeral arrangements and stuff. Okay.
Can I need like a hug or something because I don't.
I can't hug. Okay.
That's why I said I wanted to call my mom and pops.
I understand, but I can't allow you to use phone on that. Let me go out there, talk to some people, and I'll come back in. Okay. You got tissue. You got water.
I'm not gonna hold you. What happened to the kids is tragic. I think that the original uploader was like basically highlighting her theatrics with that music because he hasn't played this music the whole time, and they put it there with her little crying montage. But I'm gonna skip to where they come back in to talk to her.
Sorry.
No, it's natural reaction. Don't apologize. I can't, like I said, you've got all the answers, we've got all the questions. That's why we've been talking to you, talking to Pedro. So again, you've got all the answers, we've got nothing but questions. And obviously, the question that everybody's asking is why and how a 1 and 3-year-old could stay in a room for so long with a heater for so long that they literally have core temperatures, like Detective Rock told you, 108 and 106.5. Okay? It takes a long time. So that's why and how. That's not done over 5 minutes. It's not done over 10 minutes. Not in a house. Not in a house to where you have an air conditioning unit on at 75 degrees in your bedroom and in the living room. It's nice and cool and comfortable. It's not nice, cool, and comfortable back in that room.
So he did point out what y'all pointed out earlier. She has her AC on, nice and cool in the rest of the house. And for some reason, there's a heater that can go up to 150 degrees. And the other detective said it was close to the highest setting, and they're in that room forever. Why was there even a heater on?
And there's no way we walked in there. There's no way you can know that it's not hot because it was coming out into the living room, how hot it was. So how do a 1-year-old and 3-year-old with no bed, no play basket, nothing but a floor and towels in a room with a closed door, stand there that long.
See, that's what I told you I was coming up where one of them was going to describe what was in that room. They just, there was nothing there. Like she had them in that room for hours. I was waiting on the other age because I didn't know how old the other child was. So a 1 and 3 year old in that room, locked on the outside of the door. There's nothing for them to even play with. She just had them in that room, just there. And I think the other detective said maybe there was a stroller in there too. Like, you don't care. She left her kids in like basically like a cell. Like there was nothing for them.
That's our question. How? Why?
I checked on them several times throughout the day as well after I fed them and everything. They were fine. But all I remember while I was on the phone with insurance was because Casper kept calling, well, Julio kept calling me saying, Mom, Mom, Mom. And he said something about look, and I said, I'll be there in a minute. Daddy's coming to check on you guys right now.
And this was back when they were in the back room.
Yes. And he had the door was open at that time. Because I walked to stay down the hallway to so they could hear me. And then Pedro said, well, I'm on the phone, can you go somewhere else? Because I'm on the phone and I'm hearing like echo. I said, okay. So I stepped outside. I had my cigarettes in my pocket, so I lit up a cigarette. So from there,
Casper was calling for you to come here.
Mm-hmm.
He was calling for you to come here.
And then he said, and then I said, do you want me or do you want Daddy? I remember saying that. I said, if you want Daddy, Daddy's coming. It's Daddy's turn to check on you guys. He said, Daddy, come. Daddy, come. So when I went out to go smoke and Pedro went that way, I don't know what happened then, because Pedro looked for my recalling from that time once, and then some time passed while I was still on the phone waiting for a supervisor from the insurance company, maybe like 10, not even 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then the supervisor came on the phone, and I was talking to the supervisor asking about why our bill was so high. That when we were told it was this amount and not this amount. So I asked, why is the bill this amount?
So when you're on the phone, you're outside.
Then where's
Pedro?
That's when I hear him scream, Brittany, Brittany. That's all I hear him scream. He doesn't say anything else, just Brittany, Brittany, and then come.
Mm.
And then I come and I see it's my kid's living. I said, well, can you, at that point, can you grab Casper and I will grab Alex and we'll try to do this the best we can.
Okay, let me try to put you in this perspective, like how you just said it. It's not possible. Okay, it's not possible.
I don't know how far. I'm saying I don't know how. From when I was on the phone with the one person I asked for a supervisor, that took 5 minutes. But from him checking and me on the phone on hold for a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes, maybe 30, I don't know. From that until when he checked, I don't remember when I checked last and then he checked, I don't remember the gap period. But I had told him several times before, can you go check on the kids? And he said, I'm about to go check. And then it got to when I was waiting for the supervisor, I said, can you go check on the kids? He said, okay, about to go right now. So he ended up going then.
Okay, so when you
that was that one time.
Okay, back up when you were checking on them.
They were fine. They were both.
When you checked on them,
Alex.
Where? Because I heard you say that you unplugged the heater and unplugged the heater, and you never took the heater out of the room.
No, I took it out, but I put it at that point I put it, because I was tired of taking all the way to the sofa. I just put it right where the other door is to the room. I don't know if you went inside the house. Mm-hmm. The other door, going this way, end of the door here. I put it right there. When I should have just opened that door, put it in there, closed it, locked it. But I wasn't, maybe because I was on the phone with insurance probably, and from then until when I put it outside the door of the other room.
But
And I vaguely don't remember. I don't remember if I, at that point, if I put the thing back in, but he was saying that there was no, so I don't know what happened to all the, because there would have been 3 altogether, because there was the air conditioning connected to one, so there would have been 1 and then another 2. There would have been 3 more.
it's
What
still
is this called? The
receptacle.
no, the child thingies.
The plug blocker.
Yeah.
Plug protectors.
Yeah. The first couple times I went in there, I saw them.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe
Again,
Pedro won't be on the phone. Maybe because he has a habit even with our bedroom, that when he closes the door, he locks it. So I don't know if he maybe. I know I wouldn't lock a door like that. I always lock a door with a key. So, especially with kids in the room, I'm not gonna lock a kid in the room. But maybe he wasn't thinking he was on the phone and it was just out of action. Maybe he pulled it and locked it. I don't know.
There's no reason to have the locks on the outside of the door if you're not locking somebody in a room. So yes, you do have the intention of locking the kids in the room. And I told y'all, see how she's sliding it all to Pedro, the stepdad, with her mini CPS cases and everything else. You're just trying to slide it on to Pedro. No. Mm-mm.
So
I'm not thinking.
Are you? So
I'm thinking maybe that's what happened.
who's?
And then the person who checked last before I had to call you guys was him. And then when I came in to help him grab kids out the room, the door was open.
Yeah, so who's primarily responsible for the kids?
Mm?
Who's primarily responsible for the kids?
Legally or?
Primary.
It's the same thing that other detective just asked her about an hour ago. And here she go again playing dumb with this question.
I mean, are you talking about legally or who takes care of the kids? Because who takes care of the kids is normally a split between me and him, but legally it's me. And I know I should have been more on top of stuff, but I was trying to make sure, because I'm trying to pay bills, because we have only a few days to pay bills, and we have money that we have to pay bills for.
I understand. But that is a long time to leave a 1-year-old.
I left.
But leaving a 1-year-old with a 3-year-old.
I left them maybe like 30 minutes, probably max. I left them maybe 40.
Which is a long time.
Yeah, and supposedly between that time that I left them, he was supposed to go check.
Well, the issue is that both of y'all, you're saying he's responsible. He says you're the primary caretaker, and that you're responsible. And I mean, I agree with you, and I agree with him. I mean, y'all been together what, 7 months?
More, we've been on and off because
On and off 7 months, but
more than 7 months.
More than 7 months, but
yeah.
They're your kids.
Mm-hmm. But he stepped up to the plate and said that he's their father.
But so I mean, basically, you're saying both of y'all are responsible for kids, and both of y'all let these kids play with a heater. I wouldn't say play with a heater, but you knew there was a problem with the heater, and then plug in and plug it out. Why not bring them out into the living room? Y'all are both home. Why not enjoy the living room? Why have them go back there knowing there's no toys back there? There's no toys in that room.
There was toys in there. I just don't know what was done to them.
But what I'm saying is that at this point in time, when they were laying in there, there's no toys. There's no toys.
Which to me, it was weird because early in the morning there was toys.
You're exactly right. It's pretty weird that the only thing in this room was
the stroller
and trash, and there's a trash bag of trash, there's other trash, and a heater and towels.
So it gets worse and worse. They're locked in there. Like Kim Jones said, they didn't even have anything to drink. You got this heater in here. They have nothing to play with. There's trash in there with the kid.
You're absolutely right. It's weird because it doesn't
Because
make
the
sense.
times when I took out the heater, the first times I checked and everything else, there was toys in the room and everything. So I don't know what happened afterwards because Pedro's the one that did the rest.
Why'd y'all take out the mattress and the packing plates out of that room, and why'd y'all take it out of that room?
What do you mean?
Well, wasn't there a mattress and one of those packing plates in that room?
Yeah, but we were supposed to rent that room originally, recently, but the person decided they were not going to move in, and after that we were just going to use that for like storage and playroom.
And then back to DCF visit. If Pedro told you DCF showed up,
He never gave me a number or anything. I said, "Where did they give you a card or a number to call?"
wouldn't that worry you of saying, well, shit,
Yes,
what did
I
do
was
wrong?
worried.
DCF's number's pretty easy to find. It's.
I tried.
I was gonna say Google. She did this with the other detective, and she's doing it with him. She keeps trying to modify her story every time they challenge her first answer, and I think she thinks she's making it sound better, but you just are untrustworthy with anything you say.
I even called, but when he told me it was around Thanksgiving, and when I tried to call, it was like maybe a couple days before, after Thanksgiving.
So you're saying that he didn't tell you the safety plan that was put in place? So what do you think he's telling us?
He's saying he did tell me.
Y'all are sharing this thing together, and the house is worse now than it was when DCF worker went there. I've seen
They
pictures.
didn't tell me. He didn't tell me what they said or anything. There was
She
no
said
phone.
she said to clean up basically, and some other safety plans to help protect the children.
Which were.
I don't know word for word. I don't have the actual plan that was told to Pedro, and Pedro says he understood and told you about it.
He never told me. All he said was something about clean up. But the only reason why the house was a mess now was because we were both working in Panama City for 9 days.
Okay, but if you were
And we weren't getting home until 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
But if you're out of town, there shouldn't be as much stuff inside.
When we came home, we would eat, and obviously, since of the time it is, we're too tired to actually clean the damn dish. And I told him, since there's no work today, I'm gonna have to do a big deep clean of the house, because I said this is ridiculous. I said you were supposed to help me clean, and that we were supposed to finish this job on Friday so that we would have been cleaning on the weekend, and now I have to clean during the week, so you're gonna have to pitch in and help. If not, I'm gonna have to clean.
And then what do the kids do while you're cleaning?
They sit on the sofa and watch TV, but if I'm in a room and they're not in the same room with me, then in that case, I move them to a spot where they're being seen, or I put Alex in the playpen and Casper or Julio on the sofa.
Which what you're telling me is responsible things to do. But today, they made their way back for, like you said, could have been 20, could have been 30 minutes into a room where the door had to be closed during that whole time to get that heat.
And
The way it was.
and when I would go back there, the door was open. So I don't know if when Pedro went to go check a couple times, if he closed it by accident or what happened.
I mean, is it possible that when Casper called for your help, maybe there's something
Wrong with the door,
something wrong with
Alex?
Mhm.
There could have been a possibility, but he called for Dad.
Well,
After.
after you said, do you want me or Dad, and Dad's fine, this whole thing could have been avoided maybe.
But when he went in the first time, when that happened, there was no problem. Then he went back to talk on the phone in the living room, and then some time passed, and that's when he said, I'm gonna go check on the kids again. Maybe if they want some water or some juice or whatever. And then I said, okay, well, I'm still on the phone with the insurance company. They're giving me beef. They're giving me BS. And he's like, okay.
Well, and just like we talked about before, trying to figure out why
The kids were in a closed room.
Well, not just in a closed room,
The heater and everything.
but there's nothing for them
to play with. And
to play with and do anything.
Yeah, and that's what I'm...
For them to be in that room for so long.
And that's another thing that I want you also mention that. And also, I feel like it's weird because the first couple times I went in there was toys. Alex had a little...
She think everybody is Boo Boo the Fool. She did it again. One of my pet peeves. You know your story wasn't adding up. Now you're trying to finish his question that he's asking as if you actually had a reasonable answer, which you don't. Now she gonna sit up here and lie and say, that's weird because there were toys in the room. She called that room a storage room at the beginning of her interrogation or whatever. She called it a storage room. There were no toys. And then also, the toys still would have been in there when the cops came, because if you're talking about you giving one of your kids CPR and Pedro's doing whatever he's doing with the other kid, there's no reason to take toys out of the room. So the toys would have still been there. There's no toys. Like, everything is a lie.
So, he has one for the car and one for the house. It's a little, like, the little book thing made out of cloth. You probably know what I'm talking about. He had that. He had some little rattlers and everything. And all those little toys, there's some in that room and there's some in the other room that I have to clean. The reason that they were playing in that room was because after I got off the phone with insurance, I was going to go clean in the other room.
No. They did show some pictures at the beginning of this. She wasn't planning on cleaning. Also, had this even just been the thing with, because again, CPS was about to terminate her rights, or that at one point she was at risk of her parenting rights being terminated. That's another thing right there, just to see that, why do your kids not have just normal things to play with? Like, she's been a red flag forever, which is why she had to voluntarily give over her kids before they involuntarily took them away. I don't understand. And I hate it because I know the system's not that best for the kids either. Like, it's just a lose-lose for kids. But no, she didn't have plans on doing anything but what she was doing, which was probably showing that man attention, not paying attention to her kids. Possibly she was on the phone with insurance. That doesn't take up your whole day. There's not much to talk to insurance about like that. She just didn't plan on watching her kids.
Where we had moved the bed to the smaller room. Just probably a little bit bigger than this. And then from there, I would have went to clean the other room, then clean the hallway, then living room, and then bathroom, our room. Because that's how I normally do it. I start in one room and work back. If it's starting in a big room, then where they were, and then small room, and then...
And I know what's normally done, but...
Today, I don't know what... I mean, if I was home by myself, this would not have happened. But
the issue is that you tell me what you normally do.
Normally, if I'm home by myself with the kids, that's what I do.
What's so interesting back in that back room with nothing that they would be going back?
I don't know. To me, that's weird.
Are they normally back there just
playing and pushing the stroller? Yeah, they sometimes push the stroller. They think it's fucking funny. They laugh about it all the time.
Just in an empty room?
They can play with the damn box and think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
They're weird. Well, one was weird.
Well, I'm just trying to understand.
They play weird.
You're telling me what usually happens and what normally happen, and what you're telling me, what normally would happen, what usually would happen, what sounds good that would happen, is proper. But it just
because normally what would normally happen on a daily basis, if I was home by myself, is what I told you.
Well,
but when Pedro's home, he's supposed to pitch in and help with the kids. And he had to help a little bit more because I looked at the kids so many times, even since we got home, even before and after and everything. I woke up maybe at 4:35, checked on the kids.
Well, I put the 1-year-old in the pack and play. That was one of the things that the DCF worker said that needed to be done, was that
the 1-year-old needs to be in a pack and play. Mm-hmm. He was in a pack and play to my acknowledgement. They were both in pack and plays, and they said that today, no, because
today they were free reign.
Because the only thing I remember him saying about DCF or CPS was that something about Julio in the pack and play. But it's a no-no.
Because but the thing is that you have, who's taking care of the 1-year-old if you're on the phone doing stuff? And I mean, I'm trying to figure out
I normally
why.
check on them, and then if I sometimes like normally if I'm home by myself, if I know that room's feeling kind of stuffy to me, when I go in and check, I take out heater, take out kids, and move them. But when I've checked and take out heater and everything, the room was fine.
But does a 1-year-old need to be on the floor?
I mean, I was doing on the floor because
But I'm
he's
saying
at
in
the
a room
time.
that we are not in there. I understand that they're on the floor and you're in there,
Mhm.
but you're not in there. Pedro's not in there, and there's.
Because I know normally
okay.
I would have Alex in the floor in front of us, yes. But I told Pedro, I said, once you go in there to check on them,
But why are they at the other end of the house?
we were literally in the living room at first.
Okay, but they're in the other end. They're out of sight.
And I told him, I said, when you go check on the kids, can you tell Casper to come out and bring Alex out? He said, okay. And it probably slipped his mind to bring them out.
But that's not what you told me. You told me that you told me to check on them.
I told him to check on him, but yeah, I then told him afterwards, I was on the phone, and I told him, it then came to me, I was like, why don't you let them come out and watch TV or something? You'll bring them out.
But you didn't. But you're mixing words now.
No,
That's not what you.
You're telling me
said.
to try to remember, and I'm trying.
Okay, well, but you're saying you're
But
coming
yeah, I
back
told
in.
him-
You're coming back in saying you remember something that I'd already said should have been done. Now you said, oh yeah, they should be there. So I'm trying to.
No, yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that.
I
you know,
told
you're
him at
not-
one point. Yeah, I told him at one point was, yeah. The first thing I said was go check on the kids. Then I came back and I said, hey, wait. Matter of fact, bring the kids out and let them watch cartoons or something. I don't know. Put them on to watch TV.
Yeah.
That's what I said to him.
Okay, but the thing is,
Those are the exact words.
somehow
I said it in
they got in that
Spanish.
back room. The little baby got in the back room. 3-year-old Casper got in the back room. Casper, you know,
Playing with the damn kid.
can walk and all that kind of stuff because he's gotten out a couple times. Even neighbors have said, yeah, we've seen him down the road. We've had a deputy pick him up down the road. Okay, when y'all have been home. So obviously there is some supervision issues, which is why DCF is worried. Because even we've had our own deputy pick him up from down the road. Now we have a baby and a 3-year-old in the back bedroom of a house not being supervised. We have Pedro and you outside. You go outside and smoke a cigarette.
He was inside when I went outside.
Okay,
when
but-
he was outside, I was inside.
But you have a 1-year-old that's not being supervised in a back room, left alone for that. A 1-year-old, not in a pack and play, not in a little chair, not. Do you see what I'm seeing? That's why. Do you see what I'm saying?
Basically, yes. What she's saying is every day, but today, she has been super mom. Because when they ask her a question, she answers it, realizes, oh, that's not the answer y'all wanted to hear. Let me add to it. Let me modify my answer. But then she tries to not completely lie and say normally, usually, but they're focused on what happened today. But yeah. Ebony said you on the phone so much taking care of business that your house is not clean, the kids are not taken care of, you're not spending quality time with the kids because they're locked off in their room. Yep. And also dodging CPS. Let's add that to the list.
A 1-year-old, 3-year-old running around, all that kind of stuff, supervision problem, what have you. You know, that one kind of is that one's kind of under. Okay, you know, but a 1-year-old. A 1-year-old is not. They're mobile. They're very fast on their hands and knees and such, but they're back there. Y'all know they're back there, out of y'all's sight, out of your sight. There's no reason for a 1-year-old not to be in y'all's sight. You know, it's even one of those things. Oh, I laid them down in the pack and play. I laid them down in the crib and something. But we're talking about a 1-year-old that was not secured anywhere except on the floor, in a room, by himself with his 3-year-old brother for 20, 30 minutes. Whether it's Pedro's fault or your fault, the thing is, y'all were supposed to parent him together, and you had this 1-year-old. Do you see what that looks like in our eyes? Of saying how much this could have been prevented? I mean, you can say what normally happens. You can say what should have happened. You can say, well, I thought I told him this, I did tell him this, I didn't tell him that. But at the end of the day, whether you left him for 5 minutes, whether you left him 30 minutes, you left a 1-year-old baby on the floor, unsupervised.
Dang. Okay, I definitely have to point this out. While Kyle said she went back in the video, and I missed this, but she gave up 3 other kids in Virginia, because I was thinking she was saying she had lost custody of these current kids and got them back. But she has 3 other children and she lost custody of them. Then she has these 2. And like, I agree with you, Ebony, she's probably dodging CPS. That is, that's crazy. It's too much. And also another thing she does, I don't know if she's gonna keep doing it towards the end here, but at first she kept naming her medical conditions, just like we see on body cam when people get arrested. Now everything, they want to name every medical condition. So for hers, it was asthma. Then it was something about her medication. And then she also tried to bring up, I have to look up the word because I feel like I might be remembering the word wrong, but she said something about like neuropathy or something like that. So she's brought up her medical conditions a couple times that she's felt too challenged and she doesn't have another answer.
You see where I have a hard time grasping? I really do. I can't understand it, because to get, and that's the thing about this issue of, it got too comfortable. You got too comfortable of saying that tells me that this 1-year-old has been by themselves on the floor many a times because
it was just.
But you got comfortable. It wasn't the first time, because
it is the first time.
It's not the first. I understand. Okay.
Normally I watch him like he's always.
But you got comfortable. Leaving the child by themselves. You and Pedro both got comfortable leaving the child by themselves, expecting a 3-year-old boy that leaves the house frequently. That, am I right to say he has developmental delays? Left the baby. So you see, you understand what that looks like. If you were looking at somebody doing that, if you saw another parent doing that, leaving their child by themselves, walking away, whether it's on the phone, whether it's smoking a cigarette, whatever, leaving them unsupervised in a room by themselves, would that not make you angry? Especially if they're not being.
And I'm angry at Heather right now because I told him to help me. He's pressing me about all the payments and everything that has to be made, but he's about to help me.
You know how many people have the baby on their hip and on the phone? They have the baby on their hip on the phone. Okay? It's co-parenting. You can't blame one parent over the other. Okay? So you gotta look at it from our. There were so many preventable things. There was stuff going on prior to today that gave you signs of you can't leave them alone. Correct? That's why you had the little knob things on the door, right? So they wouldn't get out. You see where I'm seeing this? You know, would've, should've, did this in the past. This is somebody getting comfortable with leaving their 1-year-old alone with their 3-year-old son.
Right. She built a habit on this. This is not an isolated time. Exactly. She's used to doing this, and the consequences caught up with her for doing this. And I was sitting there waiting to hear the age of the second child. Like, not now, I know we heard it a while back, but at first I was like, I was just assuming the other child was 6 years old, 7, still shouldn't do it. But a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, that's crazy.
It's just one of those things that, again, I don't know what else to say. I mean, if this, and it's like I said, this is historical. Again, our own deputy picked up your 3-year-old down the street, and you didn't even know he was gone.
I was in the bathroom.
That's a long time, but you see,
I was not even in the bathroom that long. I went to the bathroom that day, and before I went to the bathroom, I checked on him, and the baby was asleep. So I went and he was sitting there playing with the Liam car toy, and I was like, okay, well, he's fine. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I went to go use the bathroom, and then next thing you know, I hear somebody banging on the door, and it was your deputy.
But again, there's a time frame there that you go to the bathroom. He doesn't all of a sudden get ready, set, go, and goes out the door. He comes out, he goes down the street, long ways. Somebody has to call us, okay? That takes time, okay? Somebody calls us, we get our dispatch agency gets the call. Then they have to find a deputy to dispatch it to. Then by the time they dispatch to the deputy, then the deputy has to take driving time to then come and go around the area to try to look for the kid. Then the deputy finds the kid, then comes and knocks on your door. That's a long time. A long time. Okay, and that's the issue that's the issue at once. And now we've come to you've had all these warning signs of I need to pay attention to the kid. I need to pay attention to the kids. Let me go see what Pedro has to say.
My foster parents, please.
No, right now, can't use the phone right now. But
I'm being arrested.
we are looking at different things. Again, it's just it's negligent. It's extremely negligent. Would you agree that it is kind of negligent?
Yes, I messed up today doing that.
But just today?
I've been going to work and doctor's appointments and everything else, and
has he not got?
Yes.
Has Casper not gotten out?
Yes.
Did he not get out when you were in Virginia? Or
No.
Maryland?
No.
We got documentation of Maryland that he got out there too.
No.
And he's got out once with our deputies found him. Neighbor down the street has found him out.
You can't take anything she says as a truth because that's documented. If Julio, aka Casper, got out of the house before and a deputy found them or whoever, and he's naming the states, that's documented. He's asking questions he already knows the answer to, and she can't even admit that.
It happened twice.
Have you been on Dunlevel Road and Ann Church Road? Meaning, have you seen the traffic?
Yeah, but
would him not being gone once not scare you enough to say?
Yes, and I put the forms for him not to be able to go out. I mean, I put the little things on the doorknob and everything. I'm being a responsible parent and putting stuff on the door, and I'm also watching him to the best of my ability. I feel like I probably do more than Pedro some of the times, with those kids. He wants me to cook. He wants me to clean. Yeah, sometimes he even gets mad at the kid that wants to hit them. Sometimes. Yeah.
But he
And there's her Hail Marys. Now Pedro really could be hitting on those kids, but she's allowing it. She ain't kicking Pedro out. But she's throwing out Hail Marys to put it all on Pedro as if these are not her children.
he's not their biological dad. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and not saying that they're not, he hasn't done lies. But, so there might be some mindset there of, well, they ain't my kids.
No, he helps,
Okay.
but there's times where he's like, fuck it. And yeah, there's times where he's like, can you go check on the kids? And blah, blah, blah. And the kids could be like just sitting there playing, laughing, and giggling. And he's like, oh, I have a fucking headache. Go check on the kids. Shut them up or something. I'm like...
And there's sometimes a disconnect between a biological father and just a guy that wants to be a dad every now and then. But it comes down to, if y'all are co-parenting, great, but apparently it wasn't working out.
And I was talking to, because of all this other issues with him, hammering down on me with stuff that he's fucked up with, that he's slipped up, because I've given him several times money for rent, for all the rent and everything. Can I go?
Well, but the thing
is, because of all the stuff that I'm trying to explain to you,
yeah.
he has been kind of really controlling, big red flags, as my mom would say.
Another Hail Mary. Now Pedro's controlling. Now she's helping him with bills and money and stuff. But y'all said earlier that she said she rides around with him to do jobs, and he either has a business or he has a job that she rides with him to help with. But now Pedro's controlling. All right.
He's hit my kids maybe once or twice, and I told him don't do that. And he did it recently again, and I told him, you know what? I'm done. You need to stop. If you're going to co-parent, you need to do it right. And I hammered him about that, but he's been hammering me on some other shit that, like, he should be more attentive to. Like, we were supposed to go half-half with the rent as well. I gave him $600 for the rent and $100 whatever for, the light bill. I paid car insurance for.
This is not the IRS. This is homicide. They don't care about what y'all doing with your bills. It's about the health and welfare of your children. Nobody cares about what you're splitting in the household.
For him, the car's in his name. I pay the car insurance, the car payment, everything else. I'm paying all the bills. And we're late right now on a phone bill, a cable bill. And that's the only thing I have to pay. And I told him, I was like, you know what, I'm done. Either you can step up to the plate or I leave. And you're not going to know when I leave.
And I'm not ignoring that fact and whatever.
And I had plans as well as... Because
the kids are more important than any of that.
And that's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Because of the fact that my kids, I told him my kids are my main priority. If you're not going to stick it up as a man and help me around the house and also with the kids, then I'm going to go to Ohio with my sister. There I know my kids will be safe, and even if it's for temporarily giving my rights to my sister until I can get on my feet over there, I'll do it. Because Casper already shown several signs that he's not right with us right now. He needs a little bit more formality. You're not giving it to him. I'm trying to give it to him, but
DCF has reached out to you, and you've been in contact with DCF when you were up in Maryland, and they could have gave you the help. You want to reach?
Too lazy to even get the help. Just despicable. My Joy, My Peace, thank you for the super chat. She said, Pedro is not hitting those kids. She locked him in the room before he got there. She is a sugar mama, horrible liar, in my trending voice.
Reach out to them. Down here, they try to get a hold of you.
They didn't get it. They didn't leave anything on my mailbox or anything. Not on my door, nothing.
Because Pedro was contacted and said that he contacted you and told you that DCF was here.
But all he said was something about
what
I told you, like.
But again, that would lead a reasonable person to believe, oh, let me contact DCF. They're contacting me. I gotta find out what the heck they're.
And I tried to contact, but he didn't tell me until it was around Thanksgiving. Oh, well, a few weeks ago, the social workers came out. And I'm like, when was this? He said a couple weeks ago. And I said, and you couldn't tell me this a fucking couple weeks ago? He's like, I forgot. And I was like, you're real fucking smart. So I tried calling, and when I tried to call, it kept ringing, and then I look at my phone, I'm like, shit. It's Thanksgiving week.
But
I'm.
But we can do all that. But the fact is today, neither one of y'all paid. And again, 3-year-old. But then again, I keep on going back to 1-year-old being left unsupervised.
Because at one point.
Not even secured.
At one point, I did put Alex, the 1-year-old, in the stroller. Because Casper said he wanted him in the stroller so he could push him around in the room, like in the square or whatever. So I did put him in there for a little bit. And then when Pedro came, maybe he took him out and put him on the floor. Because when I came in, he was on the floor.
Like I said, that's, there's so many supervision and neglectful issues going on between both of y'all. Yeah, Pedro's saying some things, you're saying some things. The fact of the matter is that, it was the best supervision wasn't given to these kids today. That's a fact that can't be.
And I agree with you, and I know that, if I noticed that Pedro wasn't doing what he should, I should have, stepped up, but I wasn't.
1-year-old should have never been left alone.
And I thought that 1-year-old was still in the stroller because I still heard it noise hearing noise in the room. So it didn't really come to me like maybe something was wrong, or anything could be, I thought they were playing still. And then after that, I don't know when it happened, time frame from.
Like I said, it was quite a bit of time they were left unsupervised. Let me go out here and discuss some things, and we'll let you know where we're going from here.
Am I allowed to go to my house or anything? Or?
Let me go out here, have some discussions, and we'll give you the plan from here, okay?
I'm not going to be able to see my kids today.
All right.
So
the youngest one is over at the medical examiner's office. Casper is on life support.
And so I won't be able to see them until tomorrow?
Yeah. And probably, you won't be able to see the youngest one. Yeah, Alex.
When would I be able to see Alex? Would I have to get a business card from you guys, or?
I honestly can't, because it's gonna be the medical examiner's got to do their thing. There's an autopsy that's going to be done to determine cause of death. And then there's tests being ran on Casper to find out what happened to him. But obviously, with the core temperature,
That's heat.
like I said, it takes a lot. And that was when they get those core temperatures they gave you, just like the detective Brock gave you, or when they got to the hospital. That doesn't include when they were taken out of the room, that kind of stuff. So they were a lot harder than that. Which again, takes a lot.
Can I please call my mom?
Not right now, but let me, faster I get out here and discuss some things, the faster we can let you know what's going on from here, okay?
Okay,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
tell the jail man. Turn around.
Turn
put
around.
your
I
hands on
can't
your
put my hands behind my back because I have a messed up arm.
back. Okay, we've got 2 hands.
I got 2.
There we go. I knew there was another health concern coming. So now she got a messed up arm. She got asthma, a messed up arm. I still have to look up the term because I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but she said something about neuropathy. I'm gonna have to check on that one. But yeah, it's always something.
2 hands.
They
2
won't.
sets
We
of
won't.
handcuffs.
Just try.
In the end, the justice system delivered its verdict. Brittany Nicole Delgado was convicted of aggravated manslaughter of a child and aggravated child neglect in connection with the death of her 1-year-old. In April 2024, the court handed down her sentence. She will spend 25 years in prison before becoming eligible for release.
Now she can have all the time she wants to sit down. Since she want to be lazy and not watch her kids, she got plenty of time to do that now. Yeah. So I like, and this is also why I like interrogation videos, because a lot of times they'll actually have the sentencing at the end, or the court case might still be going on. But I do like those because of that reason. We can actually see everything. We can get to the resolution of this. But yeah, hopefully the little, I don't know if it's a little boy, I think. I hope he's in a better home. I hate it for kids that have to have parents like this. But yeah, 25 years before she can be eligible for parole. So she still could have more time. But that's it for this one. Hopefully next weekend we can have another interrogation video. If not that, it'll be the more serious body cams in the evening time. It'll be at least one of the other next weekend. Tomorrow I'll see y'all if you are coming back for the regular body cam videos in the morning. So I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Yeah, thank y'all. Appreciate you for being here. All right, I will see y'all later. Bye.